Namaste from Dhananjay Kumar and welcome to our journey, to resuming our journey to great minds through their wisdom expressed in their words. So this video is about pleasure. And the first quotation is by John D. Rockefeller. I can think of nothing less pleasurable than a life devoted to pleasure. I can think of nothing less pleasurable than a life devoted to pleasure. Because it suggests, this quotation suggests, that simply pursuing pleasure is only pursuing part of your quality to enjoy pleasure. But how to derive pleasure in something which may not be pleasurable? For example, most of us think to have pleasure is to have good food, good house, good car, good furniture, good clothes, very pleasurable. So, what this quotation is suggesting is that pursuing life devoted to pleasure is not pleasurable. There are certainly many other joys, happiness, bliss in life that we are missing by limiting ourselves to seeking pleasure only. This is a wonderful, very significant message. Henry David Thoreau is saying that man is the richest. That man is the richest whose pleasures are the cheapest. The cheapest in the sense he does not assign great value to pleasure, that's number one. And secondly, he is not totally obsessed with pleasure. He can enjoy pleasure, but not always seeking pleasure, because that may limit his potential, limit his future, and limit his possible contribution and the highest level that he can reach in his journey. He may miss all that. So that man is the richest whose pleasures are the cheapest. Another meaning of cheapest here, he can derive pleasure into small things. Looking at a child playing is pleasurable. Looking at flower blooming is pleasurable. Looking at stars twinkling is great pleasure. So his pleasures are cheapest. Not that he has to work very hard and struggle to accomplish something and suffering in the process, and finally when he finds it, his pleasure. That is very scarce. It may come and go, because when you lose something you have gained, you are not in pleasure, you are in pain. So it's a very precious lesson here, that you can learn to derive pleasure in whatever is around you. That is cheap. You don't have to search for it, you don't have to earn it, and you don't have to struggle to accomplish that. So small pleasures are precious. That man is the richest whose pleasures are the cheapest. This is a deep quotation by Nisargadatta Maharaj. This separation between pain and pleasure breaks down. Why? Both become experience. So in terms of experience, they are similar, they are same. You are experiencing pain, you are experiencing pleasure. Both are experiences, quite obvious. But the separation between pain and pleasure breaks down, both become experiences. Painful when resisted, joyful when accepted. So this is two states of mind. When you resist pain, when you resist an experience, you don't want to experience this. You don't want to experience somebody not liking you. You don't want to experience being uncomfortable. You don't want to experience lack of something you need to consume. You are resisting that. So that resistance brings about the experience of pain. If you accept, okay, there are pluses and minuses, there are ups and downs, there are profit and loss, there are pain and pleasure. If you accept it, it is a pleasure. When you resist it, when you begin to fight it, actually you're fighting with yourself. Something is dropped from somewhere unexpectedly and somehow you don't like it and you want to get rid of it. You want to change it and you are unable to. That is a painful. You have converted the experience of something coming and knowing what it is, and maybe it is something good for you, you have rejected it and have an experience which is painful. So it's a state of mind. The separation between pain and pleasure breaks down, both become experience. Painful experience when resisted, joyful experience when accepted. Finally, this one is short quotation by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Whatever pleases you keeps you back. Now this may appear contradictory. If it pleases you, why it keeps you back? Because what pleases you kind of makes you stop there to continue that enjoyment. You do not strive to go further, or you don't even explore alternatives or a new path. That exploration, that discovery is probably the highest pleasure, but which you forego by stopping in a state of pleasure which is temporary and something which is not taking you forward toward your goal of realization in this life. So whatever pleases you keeps you back. I hope you enjoyed this discussion and you will contemplate further on it and pass on the messages to the younger generation. Thank you again and we'll meet soon. Namaste.